Hello, so this is going to be a REFUNCT PIT CLIP tutorial. I thought I should probably start making tutorials for this game because I've got a few hours in it and a lot of knowledge, and just in case I die suddenly, don't want all that knowledge to be lost. So this is about 3 years too late, but I'm gonna do a PIT CLIP tutorial for real this time. People have been asking me to do this for years. So, first of all, PIT CLIP is very difficult. It's consistent but difficult. And there's definitely easier time saves, easier ways to save time. So I wouldn't really recommend going for this until low 41 probably, or mid to low 41, unless you're really consistent with it. And by really consistent, I probably mean you get it 60% of the time or something, maybe a bit higher. So yeah. First of all, so PIT CLIP is kind of comprised of multiple parts. So there's the turn, button 11, then there's the jump, and then there is the actual clip. And then after the clip, there is the exit, which is kind of the same, but no, it's not really. It's a little different. So first of all, the key to actually, for PIT CLIP even being possible, is the turn on button 11. So it doesn't really matter which angle you come at it from, really, but I tried to be about straight on. Sometimes when you hit 10.2, you might be a bit over to the left, maybe a bit over to the right, but yeah, just kind of look at the button straight on, and then do a slow turn here so that you barely hit the button. You really want to barely hit this button. You want to hit it late. Because if you go too deep, you're not going to be able to get the proper angle. It's just not going to work at all. And if you're too far over to the right and hit it here, you're probably going to be too slow to basically be able to clip, because the way the clip works is we jump off of this platform here whilst it's rising, and then the way that clipping in REFUNCT works is if you're getting upwards momentum, it just allows you to clip into a platform if it's rising as well. It's obviously a much more technical explanation, but basically, if you jump over a rising platform, you will clip through it. Yeah. The way that it works is basically once you're clipped in, you basically need to be parallel or moving towards the face that you're closest to. So when you clip into here, you're going to be closest to the top face at first, because you're moving upwards, so you're allowed to clip basically because you're not moving against the closest face, which is the top. You're still moving upwards, but after this is risen, you'll then be closest to this face here, the one that's closest to me right now. And yeah, so in order to stay clipped in, which you need to be clipped in for the whole duration until you can exit here, you need to not be moving away from this face. You need to be parallel with it, so straight or a little bit over to the left. But if you're moving towards the right, you probably will be clipped out. I say probably because sometimes it feels like it shouldn't work and it does work. It's very mysterious, but that's basically how it works. So I've got some images here made by LS, who discovered PIT CLIP. So these are very good images, but I'll put them on screen now. So this is basically explaining what I just said. So red, I've also got a little pointer here. So the red is bad. So like once you're closest to this face, you need to just be moving forward. But then once you're closest to the face that's like over on the other side here, it doesn't actually matter whether you move left or right then, which usually means that you can adjust so that you're basically gonna hit the front of this button. So yeah, you kind of want to be taking this green line here. So that's why it's really important for your camera to be straight and parallel with this left wall, because if you don't, if you're a little bit over to the right, you will most likely just clip out the left. So yeah, possible things that can go wrong is like in this example here, in this image, if you're a little bit too far to the left, you'll either clip out before you even make it here, or you'll get stuck, you'll get wedged in this corner here, which is probably one of the worst things that can happen. But I think that will be if you're too far over to the left. Sometimes you'll just be doomed to fail if your initial angle was too far to the left. Or when you do the clip, you kind of look over here, you look a little bit too far left, because ideally you want to be parallel with this wall, which I think is the right word. But yeah, you want to be parallel, looking straight, ideally. But yeah, it's better to look a little bit to the left if you can't be exactly parallel, because if you look over to the right, you'll most likely clip out the side. Now it doesn't matter where you're looking per se. It's all about your like speed. So like if you were like, I mean obviously if you're looking and holding W parallel, it's gonna be better for you. But if you were like holding W and A and you're looking a little bit to the right, you'll be fine. It's like all about your speed, you know. So yeah, that's kind of how the clip works, I guess. Like that's how you actually stay clipped into the wall long enough for you to come out this side. So yeah. So a little recap, you jump, so you're clipped, you're closest to this top face, and then if you're not far enough to the left, in time, you might, once you start falling again, because you're moving away from the closest face, which is the top, you'll clip out the top, which is not good. So that's the reason why you kind of need to start moving to make sure this is the closest face before you start falling down. Because once this is the closest face, it doesn't matter whether you're going down. The only thing that matters is that you're not going right, because that's away from this wall. I feel like I'm going to probably repeat myself a lot, but I just want to make sure that this is very clear. So yeah. So yeah, once this is the closest face, you can move left, you can move forward, backwards, you just cannot move right. So yeah, that's how the clip works. So ideally you jump, clip through the top, then the left wall becomes the closest, and then you just go straight. In an ideal world, you want to go straight here and take the best line into pit. Usually you might be a bit further over to the left than you'd like to be. And sometimes you can even clip in but kind of brush against this wall and lose a bit of speed, which is still maybe a little bit faster than normal pit, but it'll save you maybe like 0.05 or something. It won't save you much time if you brush against this wall at all and lose speed. So now as for the actual pit itself, I'll just hit this button here. So once you clip through, you kind of just want to take a direct line to like the front of this button. Now it's really hard to explain the exit, because the exit it is weird. It's different because you have speed like going into it, whereas normal it's a little different. I mean, I haven't done regular pit in so long, but yeah, it's like different because you'll have a lot of speed and you'll want to slow down on to the front of this button, whereas here you're like running to the button. So it's a little hard to explain, but what I try to do is first of all, the first wall jump is very important. You want to try and do the first wall jump as fast as you can. So that means pressing space twice really quickly, because one space for the initial jump and then one for the wall jump. So you want to press it really quickly as soon as you hit this button, ideally, because then that'll start getting your momentum back towards the exit. So I'll try and do it. That was not, my camera movement was not very good, but the wall jump was quite good there. So you want to just like hit it, and then you want to be like turned around before your first wall jump as well. So you need to turn around really quickly. This is really difficult. It's honestly one of the hardest bits of pit clip, and it's not even the clip itself. Because I also don't know if I do it. I remember Mining Pie once said that you should let go of W and then do the wall jumps. Like you let go of W, do the first wall jumps, and you repress it, which it did work for me, but I also find that holding W works for me as well. Sometimes it's pretty confusing, and I'm not even the best at this. I feel like Luso has had the fastest wall jumps out of anyone who's pit clipped before. But yeah, the speed of the following wall jumps isn't that important as long as you know, get enough height to actually just step up here. It's just the initial one, you want to get that ball rolling straight away with those quick wall jumps. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like every single exit I've done here has been really terrible, but I guess just do as I say, not as I do, because maybe I'm poop at this. And if you just kind of follow my explanation as opposed to just copying the inputs, it'll probably work out better for you. But yeah, you want to just you don't want to do like a slow turn here. You want to literally just be holding W, and then as soon as you hit the button, flick, well, like double press space and flick at the same time, pretty much, to get out of that darn pit as soon as possible. So that's the whole pit clip explained, I guess, but I'll explain the actual clip, because I just wanted to go through how the clip works and what to do. This is kind of backwards, but just bear with me. I'll probably put timestamps at the beginning. So the initial turn, very important, as I said before. You want to barely hit this button, and then the angle at which you move after that is also very important, but I unfortunately can't really explain where to aim, because it's kind of muscle memory, really. It's something that I don't think about when I'm doing. I just do a turn, and I kind of can just feel when it's right, I guess. If I had to explain, it would probably be like here is probably where I'd say you want to aim, like just to the right of this wall here. But you don't have any time to like think about where you're looking. You kind of just slow turn and pray, really, which is probably not the explanation you want to hear, but that's just kind of how it is. But yeah, so you want to slow turn, and then barely hit the button and get the correct angle. And then after that, you want to slide off of this platform. Now, sliding isn't technically necessary, but I believe in theory, it should make the jump, because you jump off of this platform down here, it should make that a little more consistent, least I think you jump off this platform. Maybe you jump off of here, actually. I can't really remember. But either or, you, I think you do jump off of here, actually, never mind. But, technically, if you slide, you should, in theory, land quicker on this platform. I mean, you can see it. I definitely do land quicker, which is better for... I feel like it'll give you more of a window to jump off of here. So, yeah, you want to slide and then jump. Now, unfortunately, I also can't really give you any tips on the timing for this. It's something that you just kind of get a feel for, but I mean, as long as you know that you slide and jump off of this platform, I suppose that's all you really need to know. So yeah, you just turn, make sure you're lined up properly, slide, jump, and then, you know, assuming you've done all of that, you should clip in. So if you see I kind of clip in there and then suddenly clip out the top, so that means I did do it properly. So yeah, see that clipping in the platform. So this is the important bit. This is what, you know, this image is referring to. So you'll have a lot of movement towards the right at first because you're looking in that direction, but you gotta, it's okay at the beginning because the top face is the closest, but you gotta turn to the left. You gotta curb that right speed, and make sure you get your speed to be parallel with this wall, with the left face. Now, that's why usually, yeah, you hold W and A. So you do the slow turn, and then when I actually do the slide, I've got my inputs in the bottom left, but when I do the slide, I'm just holding W. But then once after the jump, you want to hold W and A to quickly make sure your movement is not going to the right, it's going parallel with this wall. Now, this is the thing, I've found, I don't know if this is true, but I've just found that looking to the left makes it more consistent for me. I don't really have any proof to back it up, I guess, other than the fact that I am quite consistent with the trick, reasonably consistent. I just think in theory it makes sense, because if you're looking to the right and holding looking to the left and holding W and A, you'll get your speed to the left sooner. However, I wouldn't be surprised if this does sort of make it harder to get a good clip. I feel like that clip right there would probably be faster, maybe, because I'm getting a straighter line, but I think looking to the left certainly does make the clip more consistent, so you've kind of got to balance consistency for speed, like depending on how much you juice it, I guess. But yeah, so I kind of like to, you know, after the jump, I'm looking this way, holding W and A, and then after so long, which you can probably look at the inputs, because I also don't have a cue for when I start holding W again. But yeah, you hold W and A until you're parallel, and then you want to just hold W and maybe be as straight, or try and be as straight as possible. Because if you hold W and A for too long, you'll either like jump out the left wall, or you'll get stuck here. And if you hold it for just a little bit too long, you might lose your speed on the corner. So yeah, you want to hold W and A to get parallel, then you want to just hold W and stay parallel, so you can just come out of that wall with max speed. So yeah, that's basically it. So the inputs, I mean, they're on the screen, but yeah, hold WA, let go A, and just hold W. You can alternatively, I think Luso used to say that she holds D, which is something you can do if you find that easier. So instead of letting go of A, you hold D, because then it cancels it out. That's not what I do personally, but it is something you can do, and if you find that easier than letting go of A, then feel free to do that. But yeah, so I feel like this isn't a great video because I'm kind of just explaining the inputs, which you can see for yourself anyway. But I hope maybe the explanation of how clipping works in this game may have made it a bit easier for you to get this trick. But it's going to take a lot of practice. Okay, I've put so many hours into this trick, it's actually absurd. And I've been doing it in runs for a really long time, so I've gotten really used to it. But yeah, hopefully you'll be clipping into the pit in no time. I hope this video helped. I might try and edit this down. I wanted this to just be a big ramble because the idea of editing videos makes me really sad, and I just want this video to, I want a pit clip tutorial to exist. But if I'm gonna keep putting it off, I need to just get something out. So this is what that is. But yeah, let me know if you have any more questions. I'd be happy to help. Everyone in the REFUNCT Discord is always happy to help. Like any of the top runners, just will always help in the REFUNCT Discord. And if you just ask a question, the community is incredible. But yeah, but you'd probably know that by now because you should only be doing this if you're like a 41 runner. So yeah. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.